Hello, everyone. Welcome to podcast number 2 of The Division Weekly. Hasn't really been much to report since our last podcast. We just had season 9 and 10. We're getting ready for season 11, so let's talk about that real quick. Probably be a short podcast here. We did have the season 11 PTS that was open for about 3 or 4 days and is now closed as of yesterday. It's one of the shortest PTS phases that we've had in the history of the division. Usually PTSs last about 3 phases, which could be about a month and a half. But I assume the reason why it was only around for a couple days is because they are greatly falling behind on their content schedule. Season 11 was supposed to start in December, and we're currently already halfway through January, and we still don't have season 11 quite yet. And March of this year is going to be it's always the anniversary of each division title. So they have a plan for year 5, season 1. So they're going to reset the numbers for the seasons. We got that coming down the pipeline, but we got to wait for season 11 to start and finish, of course. So let's talk about some of the patch notes that they had on the PTS. Keep in mind these, as they mentioned, these are still being worked on. They're not final. There is probably a good chance that a lot of these notes or these patch notes will make it to the live version of season 11. But let's dive through and see what we got here. So it looks like we're getting a brand new gear brand set. So not an actual gear set, but a gear brand. So a brand set. This one's called Habsburg Guard, or HG. Looks like, according to the stats, the first piece will give 50% headshot damage. Second piece will do 50% marksman rifle. 3%, or the third piece will be 10% status effect. And then they have the chest and backpack pieces will have perfect trauma, which applies blind to the enemy if they're hit in the head, or bleed if they're hit in the chest. And then the backpack will have perfect creeping death, which causes a status effect on an enemy that spreads to the same enemy or a nearby enemy within 10 meters. This is very similar to the regular creeping death talent that's out there. This is just the perfect kind. So a brand new gear set called Hotshot. Once again, this looks like is going to be completely around for marksman rifles, just like the gear set. So this whole entire season seems to be geared on buffing up a lot of the marksman rifle builds that have been pretty lacking lately. There's really only, I think, 1 or 2 good builds, especially if you have Chain Killer or Headhunter or Perfect Focus. Those builds are usually pretty good for marksman rifle. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot out there. Hotshot gear set: 2 pieces give 30% marksman rifle and 30% stability. 3 pieces, 30% additional headshot damage, which is quite a bit. 4 pieces will give you the talent called Headache. Looks like the first headshot with a marksman rifle will increase the headshot by 20%. Second consecutive headshot with a marksman rifle will give 10% armor. And if at full armor, you'll get 50% of bonus max armor at the current value. Third consecutive headshot will refill the magazine. That's pretty cool. Fourth headshot forward, agents will get all 3 bonuses for each consecutive headshot kill. Missing a headshot will reset the cycle. So that's pretty nice. So we're looking at a new gear set that is actually adding value to team play for performing well, which is nice. It's the same thing with the rebalancing or the remaking of Ongoing Directive, which changed from just the solo person that's running the set gets the benefit of having hollow point ammo, to where now the entire team gets hollow point ammo whenever you kill somebody with a status effect. So that's cool. I do like that. That adds a lot more viability to a lot of the builds, adds a lot more team play. Chest and backpack bonuses, which is always good because that always increases the talents that you get from the chest and backpack. Increased bonus armor from 50 to 100%. That's pretty slick. But they don't... Trying to see here. They don't see how long the bonus armor actually lasts. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here about how long the bonus armor you would actually keep that for. So that's hopefully that's something that's been reported back to the devs. So hopefully they'll add more info on that. Backpack Talent Blessed. Agents can miss a headshot before resetting the cycle. So that's pretty nice. So if you do miss, you do get a second shot before the cycle resets. So if you do miss a second time, then everything will reset. All the stacks will reset and you have to start over. A big one a lot of people are happy about is the Ninja Bike Messenger Bag from Division 1 is making its introduction in Division 2. It's got a talent called Resourceful. It acts in the same way in Division 1, which basically states that slots in any equipped gear set or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear or brand set bonus. Allows to unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. This wasn't available in the PTS according to the notes, but this is exactly how this item worked in Division 1 if you're very familiar with it. A lot of cool builds you could do with the messenger bag in Division 1, and this is going to add a lot more build variety to Division 2 already. We have so much build potential right now that we're increasing it now even more with just this one gear piece. New exotic weapons, the Sancrum Imperium. So this is another exotic marksman rifle. I think this is our third or fourth one that we've gotten within the last 2 seasons. Talent has called the Trap, tags enemies when in scope with a total of 10 maximum. Killing any target with a headshot applies 10-second burn status and gives a 50% speed movement decrease on other targets. That's pretty slick. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Killing another enemy with a headshot shortens the cooldown for 10 seconds. Targets are marked after 2 seconds in the scope. 2 seconds, man. 2 seconds seems to mark enemies is pretty low. Usually when we've seen items or talents that have a very low time frame that they stay active for, the devs usually go and will increase this. I can see this being increased to 5 to 10 seconds at least once they're marked. I don't think anything that's been marked is 2 seconds. That's not a whole lot of time to tag an enemy and try to take them down, really. Named weapons and talents, we got the Prophet, 686 Magnum Revolver. Talent perfectly focused. Killing an enemy with a headshot guarantees the next shot will be a critical headshot. Exclusive for pistols, rifles, and marksman rifles. We got the Relic, which looks like it's the same class as the Sancrum Imperium. That's also going to have the same talent, perfectly focused. And then focused, let's see here. Kill an enemy headshot, the next shot landed will be guaranteed headshot. So perfectly focused will give you critical headshots. The regular talent focus will just give you a guaranteed headshot with the next shot. PvP changes. This is a big topic. We were promised in season 11 with the Division ETF that we would see huge changes to PvP, and we're not seeing a lot right here right now. It's mainly because the dev team has fallen behind on even announcing it. If anybody made the ETF, a lot of us applied for the ETF. We haven't heard back who got accepted into the ETF. It's season 11 was supposed to be the PvP season, but we have 3 changes here. From a lot of feedback that I've seen already, a lot of people are not happy. So one issue, like the shrapnel trap, was supposed to be fixed about 2 seasons ago. It's been broken since. They thought they fixed it. It was still broken in the season 9 PTS, and it was still broken as far as I know from what I was told in this latest PTS. But they claim that they have fixed it. fixed an issue where Shrapnel Trap would apply PvE damage in PvP. So Shrapnel Trap is supposed to do very little damage in PvP to make it completely worthless. That's what they wanted to kind of balance that out so far. So we'll see how that goes if it's actually fixed. The top issue here, lower skill tier players can no longer use Jammer against higher skill tier players. Jammer level should be same or higher. What they really should do to balance it out, whether you're a low skill tier or high skill tier, if you're going into PvP, it should be a flat balance across the board with everybody. You should have the same amount of range and the same amount of Jammer tier, basically. Make it a default value that everybody gets. The range of the Jammer, how far it goes, how long it's used for, should be a flat out value. Otherwise, as it sits right now, yeah, higher players are going to take over lower players because the skill tier is a lot higher. Looks like the third one, I guess right now, is currently a bug with Season 10 currently. There's some exotics that are exclusive. They're dropping as random contaminated drops right now in DZ. Exotic weapons that can be received as a random loot drop after killing enemies: the Ravenous, the Bighorn, Eagle Bear. All of these are raid items except for the Bighorn, which is legendary difficulty only. The Ravenous and the Eagle Bear come directly from the raids. A lot of people have voiced their concerns. They're not happy with this sort of change, that people can go and farm the DZ to try to get an Eagle Bear. But if you really think about the DZ, it's a very populated area where you can really get ganked at any of the extraction sites. A lot of people are going rogue, killing other people, so there is a high risk, high reward. The dark zone areas are very small, to where if someone is extracting from the south and you're in the north, you can easily traverse that whole distance to get to the extraction site and can hijack it or kill the players and take their loot. So we'll see what changes. We'll see what the devs do come the final release. But I don't think they should have these specific exotic weapons drop in the DZ. They should stay exactly where they're at. Known issues is just kind of known issues with PTS. Looks like some other exotic weapons, the Regulus and the Nemesis, also drop in the Dark Zone. It says not intended. It will be completely removed for TU17, which is fine. That's really about it. So there's not a whole lot. We're getting a brand new gear brand set, and then we're getting a new gear set along with a couple of exotic items. So we're getting at least one gear piece, the messenger bag, and then we're getting at least one exotic weapon. And then we're getting a few named weapons as well. So not a whole lot for Season 11. Season 11 was supposed to be the release of Descent. That was the new game mode, the roguelike game mode that's supposed to be coming out, but that's been delayed to Year 5 Season 1, according to the devs. We will see if that even launches with Year 5 Season 1. That could get delayed even further. We still haven't heard anything about the latest specialization revamp for the past year and a half. I'm starting to think that might not be happening. Whatever they're trying to do for the specializations, whatever they're trying to build and design, apparently is just not working. They thought they were going to have it ready a year and a half ago. Yeah, then it keeps getting delayed, keeps getting delayed. So, and we haven't heard any news on that either. So hopefully the devs will come together. They'll give us some more info. Hopefully another live stream where they can take some of our questions, get a lot of things answered, because it's been pretty quiet lately with what's going on. We do know that the Division Resurgence, the mobile game, is going to be doing more testing this year for the first half of the year. And then Heartland, according to Ubisoft on their financial call from last year, that should be out. The latest they said the release date would be end of fiscal year. which would be March 31st, is the very end of the fiscal year for Ubisoft. So Heartland could be out really soon. We'll have to see. But Resurgence looks like probably more time, probably second half of this year or towards the end of the year. Anyways, thanks for watching. You can catch me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Hycraft, HYKCRAFT, where I stream The Division 2 very often and other games too, because I play other games as well. But Division is my home, and I very much enjoy playing the game quite a bit. All right, we'll see you again. Take care, everybody.